Hey guys, it's your girl Ray and welcome back to my channel. You're so welcome. I can't express to you how welcome you really are. So basically I want to talk about a really sensitive topic. The reason why I want to talk about it, not because it's happened to me, it has not happened to me, but it has happened to close people around me. And I just want to shed a bit of light on it, and I just want to shed my views on it, and basically how we can progress somehow. I believe through God we can always progress. But this is basically, even though it happens to boys and girls, this is targeting females. It's always going to be easy for me to target females. That's what I want to do. How am I gonna start it? I just basically want to talk about scenarios, and I'm gonna shed my light on it. Rape and stuff is a very sensitive topic, like extremely sensitive. And I want to talk about situations in my life in terms of like just being a girl and like safe and looking after myself and being safe, and how it can minimize if all women like take this on. Let's say by God's grace we can minimize and decrease the rape rate. So basically when I was younger, I was someone like, all my friends like were very like they would go to London a lot. I'm from Brighton, right? So all of my friends would like go to London, and they would just like this is back when they were younger. They would go to London and just chill out, meet guys, because when you're younger you always want attention from guys. Girls, you know you like attention. We all like attention, let's not pretend. So basically I've grown up with my mum and my dad both in the same house. They're pastors, sorry. They've always known, I've always known, but not even just because they're pastors, because I know pastors' kids are known to be the worst kind, but it's more because I had a mother that explained a lot of things to me, and like my father and stuff like that. But my mother would really teach us stuff, and like even my older sister would teach us a lot of stuff about like yeah, a lot of my sister, to be honest, my older sister Stephanie, she basically just, I followed her a lot in the way she lived her life, and because she was very much made a decision, like things like even being a virgin, things like that, and because she did it, I kind of like just, it's kind of like I just got the memo and then I thought it was good, so I just copied it, right? So that's just my story. So basically, so I never used to do those kind of things like meet guys and do that kind of stuff, because it was a thing where I knew that's not what I wanted. I was always very aware from a very young age that I'm gonna be married and be married to one man, and God's gonna supply that husband for me. That's something I've always known. So the desire to do those things, even though I did want attention from guys, like I'm a girl, like let it not kid you. I wanted that attention and stuff like that. But also being plus size when I was younger as well, it didn't always I used to think, okay, maybe guys wouldn't be that interested. This is when I was like, let's say even young, because I've been a chubby chick for my whole life. So let's say like, when did you start even liking guys? Like let's say like 11 and stuff like that. I said liking guys, I don't mean like you can have a crush at 11. No, but I mean like those kind of ages. So it was just a thing where just like, oh, I knew when I was older things are gonna change. But either way, I already knew that I wasn't gonna be a part of that life anyway. Okay, so basically my friends used to go to London and stuff like that, and I wasn't really like that. And I remember but I always advised them like, know your worth, like blah, 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 blah. I'd always been a preacher of like trying to get them to like know your worth. Anyway, so basically I remember my friend used to like get in guys' cars. Like let's say for example, if you go out after a club night and you just hop in a guy's car for a lift home or stuff like that. When I was younger, that used to baffle me. Like I didn't get it. Like I just didn't understand why a girl would get into a car if somebody didn't know. I just didn't get it. Like I couldn't grasp the fact that when my friends used to do it, like when I was there, I used to kick off. I'd be like, get out of the car, you're not going with this guy. And then as I got older, I think I started like doing it. But the thing is, even though I was never completely comfortable with it, but I did it anyway. Because I was like, but that was as I got older, then it suddenly became more okay to do it. And so basically, and even like things like, you know, when you're younger, you go out and you meet guys at a club, and then your friends will, or you guys will invite people back to your apartment. Let's say you're staying there, and like all those things that used to look crazy to me started to become more okay and more okay and more okay. Not okay, because I always knew it wasn't okay. Like I was never 100% comfortable. So like when it would happen, I'd be in my head like praying like, Lord, I plead the blood. It was never a thing where I knew it was okay, but I started to allow it. But where before I used to be the killjoy, like nobody's coming up in this crib, okay? Where then I just started to just not be the killjoy, but inside of me I would always be like praying like, Lord, like yeah. My mind would be like basically I spoke about that because I'm just basically talking about things that girls do. I don't know how many girls do it, but I'm sure a lot of girls do it. When you're young and you're having fun, when you're on holiday and you meet guys and they come back to the apartment and all that kind of stuff. I know my friends and I weren't the only girls doing it, so please don't even try to look at us crazy. But yeah, so basically I remember speaking to my girl. This is just one of my friends. She was basically telling me a crazy story. She was like, oh my god, this is like, listen to this really crazy story. And then I was just like, okay, go and tell me. And then she was basically like, so basically when I went out, her and her friends went on holiday somewhere. And then she goes, when we went out, like we were all like hanging out and we met these guys, but none of the guys, but I wasn't speaking to any of the guys, they were all speaking to my friends. But when after the club, my friends invited them all back, and she was emphasizing the fact that she wasn't talking to any of these guys, like they were all on her friends while she was just like just chilling on her own, like she wasn't entertaining anyone. So basically they invited all the guys back to their place, and then when they invited them back to their place, they the guys ended up staying around. And then she said that she shared a bed with her friend and this guy. And she said while she was sleeping, the guy tried to put his hands down her trousers. Yeah, down the front of like her trousers. No, her shorts, sorry. And then she was just like, and she was like to me, I can't believe he did that. Like that was crazy to me. Like he wasn't even my link, that. And then she was kind of looking at me and I was kind of just like, yeah. And she was just like, is that not crazy? And I was like, no. And she was like, what do you mean? She was just like, that's really weird that he did that. And I was like not that crazy. And I basically just said, if you are gonna find that crazy, you have to find everything that happened that night crazy. And she was just like, what do you mean? And I was like, if you're gonna think that him putting his hands down your pants is crazy, you have to find everything that happened that night crazy. And then she said, she was like, no, that was really weird that happened. And I said, you guys were chilling with these guys in the club. You then allowed these guys to come back to your place. You then stayed in the same bed as this guy. You can't then say only him putting his hands down your pants as the crazy part. Of course it's a crazy thing that he did, but so is the rest of the things that you guys allowed. And then she was kind of like, yeah, obviously it wasn't right that we did it, but what he did was weird. And then when I was trying to explain to her, and I was just like saying, this is the mentality that we as girls have. And it's kind of a situation where it's like, you need to start looking at things weird. So because it's basically like, let's say for example, you've allowed that guy to think, you've entertained that guy. From the jump, you guys were talking, even though it wasn't you, your girls have entertained these guys in the club. Cool, we all do it. I'm not judging girls for talking to guys in the club. Let me just make that clear. Talk to who you want in the club. I'm just trying to let you go. I'm just trying to explain the process. You're entertaining these guys in the club. I don't know who these guys were. I wasn't there. You know what they look like. You know what kind of vibe they have. You know everything. You're talking to guys in the club. Cool. After the club, you're chilling outside the club, blah blah blah, and then you guys like, oh, come back to our place. Boom. Then again, I want to make something very clear. At no point am I condoning anything a guy does to a woman that is inappropriate. Let's make that very clear. I'm just trying to do this step by step for you guys to understand what I'm saying. You invite these guys back to the house. Cool. They're chilling, you guys are maybe having a vibe, you're drinking, you're chilling, every flirting's going on, boom, boom, boom. It gets late. Mind you, after the club, let's say you leave the club at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, so it's late. Or early, whatever. Then they're coming back to your house, you're chilling, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets so late, so they end up sleeping, you all crash on the couch. You all crash. Then this guy decides to put his hands down your pants. At no point did any of these girls give this guy the impression that they weren't interested. At no point. Whether or not you were the one entertaining him the whole night, you roll with these girls. You invited them, you accepted the fact, you were cool with the fact of them coming back. So already these guys have painted you as those kind of girls that are down like that. Like you're pretty, like cool with that kind of life. You're chilling, like blah, blah, blah. So you've already painted that picture for them. So my thing is, you can't control what a guy decides to do to you at that point. Should they be doing it completely incorrect? But you can't control the mind of a rapist. You can't control the mind of an abuser. So what I'm trying to let you know, if you find what he did weird, you have to train your mind to know that every single thing that happened before that was weird. Because when we start teaching girls and stuff like that, and I'm talking to all girls, even myself, I'm talking to everybody. I'm not judging anyone, may I add. I'm not judging. I'm just trying to help girls come to a realization of things just so we can protect ourselves a bit more. You have to let yourself know that every single thing that happened that night was weird, so it doesn't even get to what happened at the end of it. By God's grace, all that guy did was try and put his hand down her pants. When she said no, he stopped. A rapist doesn't stop there. A rapist rapes you. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to let you know is, we can't change a rapist from being a rapist. We can't do that. We can't get into the body of a rapist. We're not going to do that. We can't do that, because sick people will always be sick in this world. But what we can do is adjust ourselves to it. Unfortunately, we live in a world where you're going to have to adjust yourself. Unfortunately, I know it's annoying, our girls. I know you've got loads of girls like say, oh, why can't we dress how we want to dress? And that. Unfortunately, you can't. God made a woman's design to be beautiful. And naturally, guys like appreciate women's bodies. It's actually a gift from God that we are just designed to be like beautiful. But so unfortunately, you can't parade your body parts around all the time. You shouldn't do it personally. Even me, I remember my sister used to tell me, like, sometimes like I never used to be a cleavage person, and then I decided, and then I started showing a little bit and a little bit, and then started showing a lot of cleavage, and my sister was just like, you showing cleavage is just entertaining lust and stuff like that. And I was just like, really? And then she was just like, yeah. And then I realized that as I show more chest, it does, obviously it attracts a certain amount of, a certain type of guy, 100%. Not only does it attract a certain amount of guys, it attracts insecurities, and it attracts all those things. So when she told me that, and then I understood it, I stopped showing cleavage. Like, even if I'm always trying to pull it up. Like, I remember I went to my friend's wedding recently, and my top kind of went like that, and I wasn't actually comfortable because I've got big boobs, right? And I'm not someone who really likes showing cleavage to me. Like, it's not actually something I like. It's like if I wear tops and they're just da-da-da, but it's not actually something I like. You have to protect yourself at all costs. We have to teach girls, we have to teach our daughters, we have to teach our younger sisters, we have to teach everybody. You have to be vigilant. The Bible tells us to be vigilant always. So you can't just walk around at night time on your own. These are things that I'm trying to get girls to understand. You can't do it. It's not even a thing where it's just like, oh, it's optional. You shouldn't do it. parents, tell your children, because my mum was a woman, like she never the reason why I love my mum, and I think she's such an amazing mum, I know she's such an amazing mum, is because she always let us do what we want, but she always let us do what we want, but in, how can I explain it? For example, we would go clubbing, right? I remember when I used to go clubbing in Brighton when I was young, I used to go clubbing all the time. I remember my mum, God bless my mum, man. My mum would wait for us outside the club in the car. She would, because she wakes up anyway to read her Bible in the middle of the night. So she would wait for us outside the club until it was finished and then pick us up and then take us home. When my mum, because my mum had so much, but she wanted us to steal. She didn't want to make us feel like we couldn't do anything, but she always did those kind of things. So it's like, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to wait for you. And when you're ready, she would never rush you as well. She'd be like, when you're ready and when you're done, I'm going to be outside and I'm going to take you back home. So there was never a thing that I hid from my mum, because she ready made me know that the protection was always there, and it was always like, she never made me feel like I couldn't do anything. I remember when I went one time with my girls to London, and they used to have secret phones. They'll switch off the phone of the number that the mothers had, and then they would turn on their secret phones. So basically their parents could never get hold of them, their mums could never get hold of them. And I remember I used to go out with them and they would never give me that number, because I remember one of the girls was just like to me.
So basically, before I give you the number, I want to know, if I'm out in London and my mum wants to know where I am, would you give her that number?
And I was like, yes, I would. And then she was livid. She was like,
that's why I'm not giving you the number.
And I was like, it was so stupid to me. We always had that covenant protection from my mother and my parents, basically, and my father. It always, I always knew I'm never walking home at late at night. Someone would always meet me at the bus stop. Either my brother, my oldest sister would even come pick me up. My mum, there's always someone's coming. I knew walking at night was just a no. I wasn't about to do it. We need to let them know that it's not actually normal for a girl to walk home at night time on her own. It's not even that good for guys to walk at home at night time on their own, let alone a female. We need to start teaching people like ways to protect yourself, and these are the things that are going to minimize girls getting attacked and obviously there are many different reasons why girls get raped. Sometimes it's not even on the street or by random men, sometimes by your own family members, and that's just, sometimes it's in the confines of your home. Obviously I'm not talking about those kind of stuff, that's like a whole different story. Let's apply wisdom to what we do, okay? Before you think to yourself, how likely is it for it to happen to me? It's likely. And let's not try it out. Let's nip it in the bud. It's not necessary for you to have to go through it. It's not necessary for your children to have to go through it. You don't want it for your kids. Don't do it to yourself. I would like to let you guys know that my sister is actually doing a documentary on this situation to do with like rape victims, and not just rape, just sexual abuse in general and just things like that. So any women that are interested in sharing their story and helping somebody else, but not even just helping somebody else, but also helping yourself, applying healing to it. She's basically wants to do a documentary and it's going to be really good. Obviously you don't have to show your face, you can be blurred out, but she really wants to reach out to women like that. She's got quite a few women that signed up to do it anyway, so yay to those women who have done it. I'm very proud of you, and you're doing a great thing by sharing your story, like an amazing thing. So if you would like to be a part of that, we are so grateful, and it would be amazing if you could do it. I'm going to leave her details down below. I'm going to put her email down below so you can get in contact with her, and then hopefully you can share your story. Yay! So yeah, I hope this video helped you. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I hope you felt my heart in it. And I want to say I love you girls a lot, and I love you boys a lot, but for my girls, this is for you. I love you girls a lot, and God loves you so much more. And you're special. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.